It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. Former IBM CEO Ginni Rometty faced a huge problem at IBM, and her challenge was updating IBM's outdated technology. Now, this is really a big challenge. Here she was, a woman, yes, a CEO of IBM, yes, and in order to stay competitive, she had to make huge changes at IBM that was already falling behind. Think about your own business. Think about your own competitiveness that you have right now. Think about if you had to make some shift. Now, she had a couple options she could do, right? One option, she could take a little small step and implement a small strategy, or she could jump all in. She could say, you know what? We're going to do a total transformation. We're going to do a complete overhaul. And in doing so, we're going to catch our technology up right away, number one. And number two, we're going to adapt some new strategies. Well, there was a lot of naysayers out there. They said, wait a minute, that's a bit radical. Are you sure? Should you do it? Now, here's what Ginni did. She jumped all in. And instead of saying, let me take a small step here and a small step there, she said, we're going to radically transform our technology, bring it up to speed in the industry that's already moving faster than we are, and thus we'll find ourselves competitive again. What's the big takeaway that I want to share with you as a CEO, especially as it relates to your sales success? Well, number one, embrace transformation. Embrace transformation in a radical approach, especially as it relates to technology and data-driven decisions. Now, I say this because in sales, sometimes it's the last department to upgrade in terms of technology, in terms of automation, in terms of making things easier for the sales team, or if you are the sales team, yourself. But if you do three things, here's my promise to you, you will see faster success just like Ginni does. Three things. Here are the three things to do. Number one, innovate. Number two, embrace technology. And number three, make radical changes. You do those three things, and you're going to see your sales not only elevate, you're going to see your sales not only go to another level, but you're going to see your business bring on new clients, be more competitive, and have way more profit than you ever anticipated. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. My name is Shay Brown, your host. I'm super excited you're here because this is already a radical change. Just you showing up right now and being here in this moment is something radical and something different, because nowhere on the planet does it exist. There's a place that CEOs can get together for 15 minutes in a day to focus on one area, and that is their sales and their sales results. So this is the most important meeting I believe that you can be in all day long. I really believe that with every fiber in my heart. So here's our mantra. Here's what we say every single day. You can take a picture of this. This is something that I'd want you to have in your office. Share it with your team. And here it is. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. That's a very obvious thing, but think about it being top of mind to you. And that's one of the benefits of being part of the CEO Sales Huddle, 15 minutes a day. If you have this one distinction, if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Why is that, Shay? Because there's no other way to bring in revenue than just through sales. So here's what we say every single day. This is our personal mantra. This is something that we go every single morning. As a CEO, I believe there's three things you need to do: learn, earn, and return. Now, please jot this down in your notes. Every day a CEO needs to look at their business and say, I must learn something, I must earn, and I must return. Now, let's look at the other side and repeat after me. I know we do it every single day, but it's the core. It's the essence. It's what I believe with every fiber in my heart. If you can't be in sales, if you can't focus on sales, you really can't be in business. And number two, I have to learn something new. So repeat after me. I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from current clients. Think of IBM. We just did the case study with Ginni, by the way. In order to get new and old clients to return back to the business. Learn, earn, and return. There's a lot of ways you can take that, but I want you to look at it from a sales perspective, by the way, while we're here. So there's three reasons why we get together, by the way. We have three main objectives. Our number one objective is to look at sales progress. So every day we go back and we review the results from yesterday. Now, today is day 7, so we look at day 6. We look at the results that we had yesterday with day 6, and we can compare them to the last 5 days. Number two, the objective is to address any roadblocks. So every morning you tune in, whether you're listening right now or you're riding, you tune in and do that. And number 3, to understand the 5 sales pillars that every CEO, doesn't matter what industry you're in, we've got to understand these 5 pillars. Okay, we got to understand sales planning, very important. We got to understand sales positioning, very important. We got to understand sales indicators, very, very important. We got to understand having a sales team, super important. We got to understand sales cycles. Okay, we cannot get around that. We can't avoid it. It's very important to us as we're all tuning in right now. So here's what I like to do. For all the folks that tune in every single morning, I love to do this. I get the text messages. Some of you have my personal number. That's cool. I see the messages below, depending on what platform you're in. And I do get the DM, and I try to respond. I do respond to everyone. So if you're here every morning, you want to check in for accountability, look below the video and put, I'm here. Just put, I'm here. And that's just a hashtag, I'm here, is a signal that, you know what? I just tuned in. I listened to it. Some of you put hashtag replay. That's cool, by the way. For those folks that don't know anything about the CEO Sales Huddle and you're tuned in for the very first time, welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. I'm glad you're here. Let me do just a quick review on why we get together, what this is all about. CEO Sales Huddle is a place where CEOs gather to understand how to sell more faster. That's the only reason we show up. We only show up for one reason and one reason only, to understand how to sell more faster. 15 minutes, that's all I ask. Here's the big why. Here's the big why. Here's why you should be here. And you're here. So I'll acknowledge you for being here, by the way. If you're new, I want this to be ingrained. You might want to jot this down. Take a picture of this. It's about 3 things. Sales growth. So we're going to look at day 7 versus day 6 versus the last 4 days in a moment. But it's about sales growth. You show up, it's top of mind to you, get a little bit better, 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 and you see your sales continue to elevate up. And as you bring those sales in, you now have the revenue to purchase the resources. That's number 1. Number 2, it's about accountability. Some of you, when you type in, I'm here, or you watch the replay, I respond back. It's not an attaboy. It's not like you need to have the right mindset. But you would probably agree with me on this one phrase, and it's been said so many times, but I believe it's so true. We'll often do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. And isn't that so true? And the last one is consistency. At the end of the day, you will be more consistent. And I'm going to share a quick story of a client I had a conversation with yesterday. And the result of just being on the Sales Huddle, she said, Shay, well, I'm now back in tune with the drivers of my business. Not that I ever got away from them, but in the morning, I'm just more there. So how long we gather? 15 minutes. We've been together 8 minutes already, so I got to move on. But 15 minutes each day we arrive. We have one outcome and one outcome only, and that is to drive $100,000 plus a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. And that's not important to you, no big deal. This huddle might not be for you. But if you're looking for $100,000 per month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue, that's money going to your bank account, then I'm going to suggest that you show up every single morning and you take the steps that are necessary. Now, there's no barrier. There's nothing you have to do. Seriously, there's nothing you have to do. The only barrier other than your commitment is you've got to show up for yourself and show up for your business. You do those 2 things, I promise you. Show up for yourself. That means you're here. Show up for the business. Now, if you haven't already connected, go over to ceosaleshuddle.com. Again, www.ceosaleshuddle.com. Maybe you got the podcast. Maybe you're listening on one of our broadcast stations. Maybe it's inside one of the social media platforms. But you're like, Shay, I don't even have the CEO Sales Dashboard. I didn't even know this was going on. Congratulations, you now know. And so we're going to go into a segment that's very important called the CEO Sales Dashboard. This is when we do a metrics review. You pull up your metrics. You pull up your Excel sheet. If you haven't got the CEO Sales Dashboard, just go register over at www.ceosaleshuddle.com. If you haven't connected with me, make sure you connect with me over at Instagram at I am Shay Brown. There are 5 indicators we look at every single day. Today's day 7th. We look at leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. Now, every day I do a deep dive in one area. Yesterday we talked about leads. So today is day 7. I want to talk a little about appointments. So first, open up your dashboard and look at how many leads came in yesterday. That was day number 6 of this month. And you should have a month to date number there, right there as well. Next to it, it tells you how many leads came in for the first 6 days. And then some of you went back and did another year to date number, how many leads came in for the whole year. So you can see the trend. Okay. There's different type of leads. We talked about that yesterday. Today, the focus is, hear me, is appointments. And I like to look at appointments on a day like today because there are two types of appointments. There's appointments set, and that's how many appointments your team has set to have any type of conversation. And then there's appointments run. So there's appointment setting. That's one skill set. You get really good at setting appointments, and people go online and they schedule. And then there's appointment running. Now, the questions come up many times around appointments is, Shay, what is an appointment? And we do count appointment as you going one-to-one or your sales rep going one-to-one. And if you are the CEO and the marketing person and the branding person and the technology person and the admin person and the chief sales officer, it's okay. You wear all these hats. So it means it's you going one-to-one or your team going to one-to-one. Okay, that's one type of appointment. Could be a phone appointment. That's cool. It could be an appointment where you're going one-to-many. Some of you out there, you have a web page and you send people to the web page. When they get to the web page, they watch a video. That is an appointment. So right now, this morning, I'm probably going to have an appointment with 10,000 of you who are going to watch this and download the podcast. That's the trend we're on right now. And that's super cool. Okay. So this appointment is like 10,000 appointments in so many words. But for you, we're going to start with the basics. Yes, a webinar does count. Yes, a challenge does count. Yes, you speaking to a group does count. All that counts. But at minimum, how many appointments do you have set? So if you had appointments, it's one of the indicators on your, I gotta make sure we pull this up and get this up on a slide next time. But if you have on the CEO dashboard, if you have appointments, underneath that, you would have appointments set. And then under set, if you're, let's say you're a speaker, you might have, okay, how many appointments do I have set to speak for the rest of this week? How many appointments do I have set to talk to people about speaking opportunities? How many appointments do I have to talk to folks about a product that I'm going to offer them? How many appointments do I have? It's a follow-up appointment. That's an opportunity to talk to someone about a deal. So there's different type of appointments, but at a minimum, here's what I want you to understand. I got to move on with the 12-minute mark, and I'm going to keep this under 15 minutes unless we go into CEO overtime. Those that know about CEO overtime, that means we do a little bit extra. Never more than 15 minutes. Sometimes we go a little over the 15 minutes. But appointments are important, and here's why. Nothing happens without an appointment. So for many of you, the appointment could be them going to your automated sales funnel and they buying something. That is an appointment. But that's the importance of appointments. Okay, day number 7, how many offers have been made for the first 6 days? Now, for the first 6 days, how many offers? And then look at day 7 and look at your calendar and how many appointments do you have set to talk to someone so you can make an offer? And the offer could be to buy the product. The offer, different type of offers. We can't get into that right now. Could be an offer to collaborate. Could be an offer to do a partnership. Could be an offer for somebody to be an affiliate of yours. It's a lot of different offers. But today, I want to talk about this, an offer for you to offer the product or service. And for those that this is train-to-trainer content, and you have a team, you want them sharing with you. How many offers are they going to be making today? If the answer is none, then they should be prospecting or setting appointments. I mean, there's nothing else to do that day. And then there's deals. How many deals have come in for the first 6 days? This is day 7. And then of the deals that have come in, how much was repeat business? That means we were already working with someone, and now they're coming back, or we upsell them another product, or we offer another service that they need. It doesn't have to be an upsell, but it's still another service. All right, as we move on, I like to keep it close on time. This is the sales dashboard. It's probably one of the top 3 things that's important about coming here to the CEO Sales Huddle. Think about Ginni with IBM. When she was there, she had to make some radical decisions just like you have to do. Where do I spend my time? Where do I update my technology? We give you the CEO Sales Dashboard, so it's no big deal. There's a freaking Excel file, so it's easy peasy breezy. It's not a software you got to learn, but it's something that you can give your assistant or you can hire someone to give you those numbers. I want those numbers every morning when you show up. I want those numbers there. Okay, let's celebrate some wins. What are you most proud of? If I could bring you on here right now, what are you most proud of yesterday from a business or sales perspective? What was your biggest accomplishment just day number 6, which was yesterday? What do you want to brag about today? What happened yesterday? Like, I just want to show up. I mean, we had one of those days yesterday. I'll tell you, it was a breakthrough our company. That's a breakthrough. It was just incredible. We had a number of one-on-one conversations. My team was on appointments. I mean, we were rocking and rolling. It's not always like that. I mean, it's not always like that, I tell you. But I just want to brag a little bit and say that being in the CEO Sales Huddle, for me, this is top of mind to you. My team will tell you I'm more focused than I've ever been before. And here's what I want you to know. You get what you focus on. You get what you focus on. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one. Let's see, I should get a button over here one day soon. Then we like look at some of the challenges. We had 15 minutes. I'm going to go into overtime for a few minutes. Sorry, I got a little carried away on the dashboard. That did happen this morning. But I want to look at a couple of the roadblocks. We want to acknowledge that it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. So what was your biggest roadblock yesterday? What is preventing you from taking the action you really need to do on your number one priority, which is sales today? And what's the one thing that you can do? You can completely control that if you do it, it would move your business or life forward. Go ahead and jot that down right now. This is what the CEO Sales Huddle is about. This is why we show up. We want to acknowledge it. We're not going to run from it. We're not going to act like it doesn't exist. No, it exists. We understand it. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to acknowledge it. We're going to respect it. Okay. We're now into overtime. It's at the 16-minute mark, so let me move quickly here. I love to share this every time because it's just that important. That as a CEO, there's 5 pillars you must understand. First, you must understand if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Number 2, as a CEO, we must always learn something new in order to earn new business from existing clients so that we can return or get new and existing clients returning. The 5 sales pillars we all must understand as CEOs, even if you don't do them all, is sales planning, which we do a cycle on, sales cycles. That's how does the revenue come in? What's the customer journey? Sales positioning, that's the messaging, that's the language that we use. Sales indicators, that means these are our guideposts. This is what's happening in the business. And last, the sales team. Now, if you haven't connected with us already, please make sure you connect with us. If you haven't already gone over to ceosaleshuddle.com and register so you can get all the notifications and all the goodies, go do that now. You got plenty of time. www.ceosaleshuddle.com. Again, ceosaleshuddle.com. Here's what I want you to know. As you're listening right now, I want to first just acknowledge you for showing up, just acknowledge you for being here and for being in the conversation. You are a successful CEO. You are a successful CEO. You follow a system. One of our 12 rules for life is that systems beat goals every single time. A little bit in overtime right now, but it's systems beat goals every single time. Why is that, Shay? Because systems are duplicatable, systems are repeatable, and systems is something that you can hand off to someone else. So you are a successful CEO because you understand the formula of S plus S plus S equals S. That is systems plus a strategy plus sales equals a successful CEO. And a successful CEO, by definition, is someone who has more money coming in than they have going out. So they have the resources that are necessary to purchase what they need to solve the problem, which is why they exist in the world. So you are a successful CEO. Why? Because systems beat goals every single time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the CEO Sales Huddle. I want you to know you're amazing. You're incredible. I encourage you to stay hungry. Continue to learn. Stay hungry like it's your very first day as a CEO. Go after with all the passion, all the drive you've always had, but at the same time, stay humble. Be out there serving. The more you can serve, the more you can make sales. The more problems that you solve, the more easier it is to make sales because people will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. So I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please focus on solving problems. Don't chase the money, add value, and the money will chase you. With that being said, I'm Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. I'll see you at the next CEO Sales Huddle. Bye-bye. Peace.